If you saw this headline today and freaked out and said, oh my God, have we given the country up to an unelected immigrant billionaire? You're not alone. Several people sent this to me worried and said, do we have no more recourse? And I hate this headline. It is very misleading. It says, judge won't block Musk and DOGE from accessing data, making cuts at 7 federal agencies. I read the opinion. I'm going to break it down for you. So what happened is several states sued for a temporary restraining order or TRO against DOGE for all the nonsense they're engaging in, okay? Now, to get a TRO, a plaintiff has to show irreparable harm. Who's the plaintiff in this case? The states. So the states have to show irreparable harm to the states as the entities that they are, not just random citizens or anybody, the states specifically. And they said, well, if DOGE makes funding freezes like we think they might, this might happen to us. And the court said, not good enough, can't give you a TRO. And it makes sense because irreparable harm has to be certain and great. It has to be actual, not theoretical, beyond remediation. That means it has to be bad, and we have to know it's coming. There's a reason for that. Imagine for a moment if anybody could get a restraining order against anything they don't like based on a hypothetical they come up with. Think about red states when it comes to progressive policies. Unintended consequences, okay? But it's still really good that the states brought this lawsuit because we got some great dicta out of this and some guidance of what's to come. Dicta is all of the discussion in an opinion that's not the holding, it's not binding, but it's persuasive and it's telling. First, they gave examples of when a TRO is proper, like with the FDA and CDC websites being taken down. They were like, yeah, we saw irreparable harm. Or, oh, with the freeze on all of the foreign aid funding, yeah, irreparable harm. But there was the case of the John and Jane Does suing OPM, and they said, well, they might use our email addresses for something nefarious. And they said, that's not good enough. That's an example where it's not going to pan out for you. Okay, we got some guidance. But they also brought up the appointments clause argument. So the plaintiffs said, you know what? DOGE and Elon, they are violating the appointments clause. This is unconstitutional. They ain't got no authority. And the defendant said, They conceded. The defendant said, yeah, we don't have that authority. And the court said, this is a legitimate argument the plaintiffs are making. And they said, you know what? This is why we want it to be indisputable that this court has acted within our authority. Basically, they said, when we do come down on Musk and DOGE, we want to know who's going to check us. We want it to be correct. And so, states, when that irreparable harm shows up, come back. And we can work with you, okay? So this wasn't a slam dunk for DOGE and Elon Musk. Now people are saying, well, won't the Supreme Court get these cases and just side with 45-47? Not necessarily. Y'all forget, they didn't ban the abortion pill when they had the chance because they told the Fifth Circuit none of these people had standing. The Fifth Circuit, by the way, which was handpicked by 45-47. Supreme Court said, nah, they ain't got standing for this and sent them on their way. They even upheld the First Amendment rights of Black Lives Matter protesters when D. Ray McKesson was sued, okay? He won. There is hope. So don't let the headlines scare you. The lawsuits are working.